In other news today, the search continues this morning for two missing children in rural Nova Scotia. Crews have been combing through the woods around Pictou County since Friday, when police believe they wandered away from their home.
Deep in the rugged wilderness of Nova Scotia, two young children vanished from their home, leaving behind a trail of heartbreak and unanswered questions. On May 2nd, 2025, 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan and her 4-year-old brother Jack disappeared from their trailer on Gairloch Road in Lansdowne Station. No cries, no footprints, no trace, just an eerie silence. Their mother and stepfather insist they wandered off, but whispers of doubt echo through the forest. Did they get lost in the unforgiving woods? Or is there a darker truth? For the next hour, we'll unravel every moment, every contradiction, and every tear of this haunting mystery. This is the story of Lilly and Jack Sullivan, a case that has gripped a nation and refuses to let go. Lansdowne Station is a place where the forest seems to swallow secrets whole. A tiny hamlet where dirt roads twist through thick woods. It's a world where neighbors keep their distance, and silence is a way of life. This is the story of two children, a family torn apart, and a community holding its breath. From the day they vanished to the vigil that marked a month of agony, we'll guide you through every step, every clue, and every heartbreak. Buckle up. This isn't just a case. It's a descent into the unknown. Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, is a speck on the map, home to fewer than 100 people. Tucked 140 kilometers northeast of Halifax, it's a place of dense forests and winding dirt roads, where the closest town, New Glasgow, is a 20-kilometer drive. In May 2023, Malahia Brooks Murray, a 28-year-old proud member of the Sepeknekatik First Nation, arrived here with her 3 children, 6-year-old Lilly, 4-year-old Jack, and 16-month-old Meadow. She settled into a modest trailer with Daniel Martel, a 33-year-old local who'd grown up in that very home. But how did this family come together? And what brought them to this isolated corner? Malahia and Daniel's story began in 2022, likely at a community gathering in Pictou County. Malahia, a single mother, was raising Lilly and Jack, whose biological father had long been out of the picture. The father, whose identity remains private, had no contact with the children, leaving Malahia to navigate parenthood alone. Daniel, a part-time lumber mill worker, offered stability, or so it seemed. Their relationship, spanning 3 years by 2025, led Malahia to move from her Sepeknekatik roots to Daniel's childhood trailer, a weathered single-wide surrounded by rusting car parts and children's toys. Daniel's mother lived nearby in a dilapidated camper, her yard teeming with cats and a dog, adding to the cluttered, isolated feel of the property. Malahia was deeply tied to her Mi'kmaq heritage, often attending cultural events with her children, who were also Sepeknekatik members. Lilly and Jack were vibrant kids. Lilly loved pink and girly things, while Jack was obsessed with bugs and dinosaurs, often flipping logs to find worms. Their baby sister, Meadow, completed the family. But life in Lansdowne wasn't easy. Daniel worked 1 day a week at the mill, yet somehow supported a family of 5. Neighbors rarely pried, but whispers of financial strain and family tensions lingered. The trailer's walls, covered with Lily's drawings and Jack's paintings, told of love, but beneath it, cracks were forming. The timeline of Lilly and Jack's disappearance is a maze of missing pieces. On Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. Their school bus driver, Brian Ward, dropped them off at the end of their long driveway after a day at Salt Springs Elementary, an 18-kilometer ride from home. Lilly, full of energy, always sat at the front, her wild screams lighting up the bus. Jack, chatty and playful, loved tossing his blue dinosaur boots forward for attention. That was the last confirmed sighting at school. Daniel later said the kids stayed home on April 30th and May 1st because Lilly had a cough, but a teacher recalled seeing Lilly on April 28th, leaving a 72-hour gap where no one outside the family can confirm seeing the children. On the afternoon of May 1st, 2025, Lilly and Jack were seen in public with family members, likely in New Glasgow, 20 kilometers away. Video footage and eyewitness accounts confirmed this, but police kept details vague to protect the investigation.
As the missing persons investigation into the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan continues, we are appealing to the public for additional video footage. Investigators have collected hours of video from areas surrounding Lansdowne Station. Based on details gathered so far, we have confirmed that Lilly and Jack were observed in public with family members on the afternoon of May 1st. Investigators are now asking anyone who has dash cam footage or video along Garlick Road between noon on April 28th and noon on May 2nd to contact Northeast Nova RCMP Major Crime Unit.
This moment, verified on May 28th, was the last time anyone outside the home saw the children alive. What happened in the hours that followed? A shadow of uncertainty began to fall over Gairloch Road. Friday, May 2nd, 2025, dawned quietly. Malahia woke around 8 a.m., hearing Lilly and Jack playing in the next room. Laughter, chatter, the clatter of toys. She drifted back to sleep, with Daniel and Meadow beside her in bed.
What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep, and they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them, and they happen to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time, and the next thing we knew, it was quiet, and we get up, and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no, and we get up instantly. We're looking outside, we're looking everywhere, yelling for them, and I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call.
Daniel later said Lilly came to the bedroom doorway wearing a pink shirt, and he heard Jack in the kitchen, asking them to be quiet for Meadow's sake. But then, the house fell silent. The backsliding door, nearly silent when opened, was found ajar. Lilly's pink boots and white strawberry backpack and Jack's blue dinosaur boots were gone. Malahia insisted her children never went outside alone. They were always supervised. Yet, in a fleeting 20-minute window, they vanished. At 10:03 a.m., Malahia called 911, her voice trembling as she reported they had wandered away.
4-year-old Jack Sullivan and 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan were reported missing around 10 this morning. Lilly might be wearing a pink sweater, pink pants, and pink boots, and Jack is believed to be in his blue dinosaur boots. It's believed they left a home on the Gairloch Road. A search began shortly after.
The 911 call sparked a massive response. By midday on May 2nd, over 160 volunteers from Halifax Search and Rescue, Colchester Ground Search and Rescue, and teams from New Brunswick flooded Gairloch Road. Drones with infrared technology scanned the canopy. K9 units sniffed for scents, and helicopters circled overhead. The forest, scarred by Hurricane Fiona's 2022 devastation, was a nightmare. Fallen trees, waist-deep water, bear tracks, and ticks carrying Lyme disease. Search coordinator Amy Hansen called it almost impassable, with teams battling crevasses, bogs, and black flies. On the fourth day, a glimmer of hope, a small boot print near a pipeline trail. Searchers pivoted, combing the area with meticulous grids, but no matching tracks or items surfaced. The print's connection to Lilly or Jack was never confirmed. Stranger still, a pink blanket, a water bottle, and children's shirts, none belonging to the siblings, were found in the woods, baffling investigators in a remote area with few families. On May 8th and 9th, the RCMP's underwater recovery team scoured Lansdowne Lake with sonar, searching for signs of drowning, but found nothing. Pink ribbons marked searched areas, dotting the forest like silent prayers. By May 7th, after 6 grueling days, the RCMP scaled back the search.
6 days after 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan disappeared from their home in rural northeastern Nova Scotia, the RCMP announced today their search for the two siblings is being scaled back, saying there's little chance they are alive.
Staff Sergeant Curtis McKinnon delivered a heart-wrenching update. The probability of survival is extremely small. The command center was packed up, leaving only portable washrooms and tire tracks. Yet, the investigation pressed on, with renewed searches on May 17th and 18th targeting the Pipeline Trail and Gairloch Road, driven by over 355 public tips. Over 100 volunteers returned, but the forest remained silent, offering no answers. As the search unfolded, the family's story began to fracture. Malehia and Daniel's accounts of May 2nd didn't align. She said she heard the children playing, unaware they'd gone outside. Daniel claimed he saw Lilly at the doorway and heard Jack in the kitchen, but didn't notice the silence until later. How could he have conversations without waking Malehia? How did he know Jack's boots were gone if he didn't see him? These gaps raised questions that lingered like smoke. On May 3rd, just 24 hours after the disappearance, Malehia walked away. During a search briefing, she left midway, climbing into an ambulance with her mother, Cindy Murray, and baby Meadow, heading to Wentworth, Nova Scotia, to stay with family. She blocked Daniel on social media, and he was denied access to Meadow by Child Protective Services. A chilling twist for a man insisting he had nothing to hide. An argument erupted in the yard between Malehia's relatives and Daniel's mother, who ejected them from the property.
My mother had to kick some people off the property because they were saying that I did it. I had something to do with it. And I'm the only one here fighting for them, which is sad.
Cindy Murray, the children's grandmother, spoke briefly to reporters, saying, "We're hoping and praying for our babies to come home." But police advised the family to avoid media. Daniel stayed behind, becoming the family's public voice. He described Lilly and Jack as talkative, loving kids who'd engage anyone, contradicting earlier claims of undiagnosed autism and nonverbal behavior. "They'll talk to anyone," he said. "Jack loves bugs. Lily's his best friend." He urged the public to keep searching, even calling for an expanded effort to provincial borders and airports, believing the children might have been abducted, a theory police dismissed, citing no evidence. As online speculation grew, Daniel Martel offered to take a polygraph test to silence accusations. On May 5th, he told reporters, "I just want to clear it up for everyone, not just the people online making crazy accusations." He claimed polygraph services were limited in Canada, requiring an expert to be flown in. By May 28th, He confirmed he'd taken the test, stating, "I do have results, and they were good in my favor," though he couldn't share specifics. The RCMP remained silent, refusing to confirm whether a polygraph was administered, citing investigative integrity. The polygraph ignited controversy. Some online praised Daniel's willingness, seeing it as proof of innocence. Others questioned why results weren't public and why Malahia didn't take one. Social media platforms like TikTok and Reddit exploded with theories. Some falsely claimed the children were found. Others accused family members, and one viral post speculated about a drug party at the home, which Daniel called absolute nonsense. The RCMP's silence fueled distrust, with many wondering if the test even happened. Polygraphs, unreliable and inadmissible in Canadian courts, only deepened the divide between those defending Daniel and those pointing fingers. The RCMP's handling of the case stirred strong feelings. The major crime unit's involvement by May 3rd suggested suspicion beyond a simple wandering incident, yet police insisted there was no evidence of abduction. Retired Halifax Regional Police Officer Jim Hoskins called this a big statement so early, hinting at internal doubts.
They gave you a clue when they said no abduction. That's a big statement to make at this early in the game.
It's been 24 days since Lilly and Jack Sullivan were reported missing from their home in Lansdowne Station. Family members have speculated the children were taken, but police have remained adamant they do not believe the siblings were abducted. According to Nova Scotia's recently updated policing standards, abduction is defined as when a person under 18 years of age or a vulnerable person is taken without the permission of their legal guardian. Jim Hoskins is a retired HRP officer and former major crimes staff sergeant. Despite not working the Sullivan case himself or being privy to any information regarding RCMP's ongoing investigation, he can see only two remaining possibilities.
What I see from the outside, there's only two options here. Criminal involvement, search, they haven't found them yet. They legitimately got lost in the woods. I felt, okay, let's give them a couple of days to see if these kids are just wandered off, because they're only 6 and 4. So are they lost? They'll find them, maybe. If not, let's see how far it goes. And I says, and if it goes beyond 2 or 3 days, uh-oh. That was my reaction. What's next? Uh-oh.
Expert Michael Arntfield criticized the RCMP's secrecy, arguing that public cooperation needed transparency.
It doesn't add up at many levels. Based on appearances, this went in the wrong direction early on, and key momentum and leads were lost when they were out in the fields looking for kids that maybe were never there.
Over 50 formal interviews and 355 tips were pursued, with police seizing Daniel's phone, bank records, and the home's wireless router to track connections. The community was split. Resident warden Robert Parker praised the RCMP's exhaustive efforts, noting the 160-plus searchers, drones, and helicopters. "They've been involved since day one," he said, but admitted frustration at the lack of answers. Others, like Madison Spears, felt the police were too tight-lipped, leaving residents anxious. "We all feel like they're our kids," she said, her voice breaking. A May 12th drop-in event at West River Fire Hall drew 17 families, with Schools Plus facilitators offering child-friendly activities and crisis support, reflecting the community's emotional toll. Some questioned why no Amber Alert was issued, though police said the case didn't meet the criteria, lacking evidence of abduction. Technology was a cornerstone of the investigation. On May 22nd, neighbor Melissa Scott, living 8 kilometers away, but connected by train tracks and utility clearings, provided 5 days of trail camera footage from April 27th to May 2nd. She reviewed it herself, seeing nothing unusual, but hoped police would spot a clue. By May 28th, The RCMP had collected hours of video from New Glasgow and surrounding areas, confirming the May 1st sighting. They issued a public call for dashcam footage from Gairloch Road between April 28th and May 2nd, desperate for any glimpse of Lilly or Jack. Despite the footage, no breakthrough emerged. The May 1st sighting showed the children with family, but no video captured them after that. The boot print, the odd items in the woods, a pink blanket, shirts, a water bottle. None linked to the siblings. The absence of Lily's strawberry backpack or Jack's dinosaur boots deepened the mystery. If they wandered, why was nothing found? The community clung to hope, but each dead end felt like a wound. On June 2nd, 2025, 1 month after Lilly and Jack vanished, Stellarton's community gathered for a candlelight vigil. About 50 people stood together, lighting 2 paper lanterns that floated into the darkness.
Tonight is about saying a prayer, and we're going to light the way home for them.
A paper lantern for 4-year-old Jack, another for 6-year-old Lilly, released into the twilight sky as a beacon of hope.
Illuminate the path for Lilly and Jack. Guide their footsteps home.
One by one, people placed candles, teddy bears, and angels outside the Stellarton RCMP detachment, a growing memorial as many questions are still unanswered.
A fragile symbol of hope. Daniel Martell was there, his face etched with grief, releasing the lanterns alongside organizer Brenda McPhee, who prayed, "Let truth be revealed." A makeshift memorial grew outside the Stellarton RCMP detachment. Teddy bears, flowers, and candles piling up in silent tribute. Malahia Brooks Murray's absence was stark. She had left Lansdowne on May 3rd with Meadow, staying with family in Wentworth, and hadn't spoken publicly since early interviews. Her silence and her decision to block Daniel on social media fueled speculation. Some saw it as a mother overwhelmed by grief. Others wondered why she skipped the vigil for her own children. Daniel defended her, saying, "I'm the only one doing media, trying to keep this story alive." The community felt her absence like a missing piece, with whispers of family discord growing louder. In late May 2025, Logan Martell, Daniel's cousin, appeared on a true crime podcast, shedding light on the family's turmoil.
Did any of them ever make the statement that they wanted to look for the children, or did she make a fuss saying, like, I don't want to leave until I find my kids?
No.
Or... Really?
No. So that's what I stated as well. Because when I got there, I said, do you want me to stay with the baby? You can go look. She goes, I'm going to stay with the baby. Okay, said whatever. So I went looking. So that was the next thing, was when she was told that the baby had to leave the residence. She's exactly told she did not have to leave the residence. They just wanted the baby off the residence, from away from the residence. That's like, this whole scenario isn't something a kid should be a part of. So the baby was going to come to my house. So she's never been apart from the baby. Never. Like, she's meadow. So I said, you're more than welcome to come too. If not, I am comfortable. I have 3 kids of my own. Like Malaya, I can take care of this kid. Like, I can take care of the baby, no problem. So first the baby, it was just going to be the baby. And then she decided she was going to come with me. So, but then something changed and we were at the briefing. Her mother said something to her. And then I had to take everything out of my car and put it in her mother's car. And like I said, she had this whole plan. Like, she was going to drive her car into my house.
Mm-hmm.
And she was going to, and then the plan changed. Oh, I'm going to take the car to my mother's. Like, I'm going with my mother. Well, she didn't even come back for the car. Like, the search and rescue had her car towed to wherever she was because they left the car. That's how much of a hurry that was to leave.
contrary to some online narratives, Logan staunchly defended Daniel, insisting he was fully cooperating with police and devastated by the loss. "Daniel's been out there every day, fighting for Lilly and Jack," she said. "He's given them everything. His phone, his time, even offered a polygraph." Instead, Logan pointed fingers at Cindy Murray, the children's maternal grandmother, accusing her of escalating tensions by fueling suspicions against Daniel. "Cindy's family came to the house, throwing accusations, causing chaos," Logan said, referencing the May 3rd argument where Daniel's mother had to eject relatives from the property. Logan's comments amplified the family divide. She claimed Cindy's actions, including advising Malehia to avoid media, were obstructing the search for answers. "It's like they're hiding something," Logan said, though she offered no evidence. Online, her interview sparked a firestorm. Some supported her defense of Daniel, while others saw it as deflecting blame. Social media platforms like Reddit buzzed with theories, some falsely claiming the children were found, others spinning tales of family cover-ups. The RCMP urged restraint, but the podcast poured fuel on an already volatile narrative, turning a tragedy into a public spectacle. What happened to Lilly and Jack? The leading theory is that they wandered into the forest and succumbed to the elements. But experts argue that children their age rarely vanish without a trace. No clothing, no bones, no scent trails. The underwater searches, the major crime unit's early involvement, and the family's conflicting stories suggest police haven't ruled out foul play, despite no abduction evidence. The 72-hour gap before May 2nd, Malehia's sudden departure, and Daniel's insistence on abduction keep suspicion alive. Could someone close to the children know more? The forest holds no answers. Lilly's strawberry backpack, Jack's dinosaur boots, gone. The boot print, the strange items in the woods, the CCTV footage, all led to dead ends. The 2-hour gap between 8:20 a.m. and the 911 call remains a black hole. Why did Malehia leave so quickly? Why did Cindy urge silence? As of June 7th, 2025, the case remains open, with police planning future searches based on new leads. The truth feels just out of reach, buried in the shadows of Gairloch Road. Lilly and Jack Sullivan are more than a mystery. They're a sister who loved pink and a brother who chased bugs. Their name tags still hang on the school bus. Their drawings fade on the trailer walls. The Sipeknekatik First Nation, Pictou County, and all of Canada wait for answers. If you know anything, call the Pictou County District RCMP at 902-485-4333 or Nova Scotia Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. Share their story. Speak their names. Because some mysteries don't end. They burn into our hearts until the truth is found. Thank you for joining us. This story isn't easy, but it's one we must tell. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. Subscribe and share to keep Lilly and Jack's story alive. To our supporters, your belief fuels this work. Hold your loved ones tight, and let's keep searching for answers.